What's going on, everybody? My name is Mir, and today both Jessie and I are going to be talking about the Florida panther and the Everglades National Park. We're going to tell you more about the species as well as its habitat. After this, we're going to delve into the conservation practices of the species by talking about why it's at risk, how it's being conserved, and what more can be done to save the Florida panther. Florida panthers are a subspecies of the mountain lion. They are large, tan cats, and their bodies are mainly covered in tawny beige fur, except for the whitish gray belly and chest. Fun fact about them: Florida panthers cannot growl at all, unlike other big cats. And to communicate, they hiss, snarl, growl, purr, or yowl. The Florida panther's historic range included the Gulf Coast states, Arkansas, and Florida, all the way to Louisiana. However, currently, Southwest Florida is the only location where wild Florida panthers can still be found.
So, the Everglades, known more officially as the Everglades National Park, is situated in southern Florida and is the biggest designated subtropical wilderness reserve in North America. It serves as a haven for several birds and reptiles, as well as more than 20 rare, endangered, and threatened species, due to the great diversity of its aquatic ecosystems. These include the manatee, the alligator, the crocodile, and of course, the Florida panther. However, over recent years, things haven't been going great for this species.
The Florida panther was one of the first species put to the U.S. endangered species list in 1973 due to the severe population decline caused by hunting. The Florida panther is currently classified as an endangered species. Only 20 to 30 Florida panthers were still living in the wild in the 1970s, but now they're currently less than 200 in the wild. The subspecies is extremely vulnerable to almost all major threats due to how critically endangered it is. Genetic diversity is low for them due to a tiny population, which is very problematic. In addition, building results in habitat loss, and panthers trying to cross roads and highways face risk. Additionally, the cats must deal with disease like feline leukemia and mercury contamination. Reintroduction in new areas are hampered by widespread mistrust and ignorance of Florida panthers.
How is conservation happening? In accordance with the Endangered Species Act, the Everglades National Park and the Florida Fish Wildlife Conservation Commission, also known as the FWC, are working with nonprofit organizations and other governmental agencies to create conservation corridors that will hopefully expand the panther's original range. Basically, they're utilizing state land acquisition programs like Florida Forever and are helping preserve the species' habitat through easements. It's also important to mention that the national park has a comprehensive Everglades restoration plan, and it's their primary strategy for conservation, with the main goal of capturing fresh water that now flows unused in the ocean and the Gulf and redirect it to areas that need it the most. This is in hopes of restoring and preserving the park's natural habitat.
Unfortunately, estimates for Florida's future human population and habitat loss brought on by rising sea levels foretell a sharp decline in the Florida panther's habitat. By 2040, projected activities in a rise in sea level are expected to cause the loss of 17% of the functional zone's present habitat. Feline leukomyelopathy, also known as FLM, is a neuromuscular condition that's been reported in connection to habitat loss and fragmentation. Hunting practices and the capacity of populations to migrate into new lands may be immediately impacted by the disease's spread. However, the current population of panthers is still 5 times than it was 30 years ago, despite these dangers. For these advances to be maintained and to counter potential threats, ongoing conservation initiatives at the state and federal levels are essential.
So, as a closing, the Florida panther of the Everglades is currently still one of the most endangered species in the US. Hunting, urbanization, development, and disease have heavily decreased their numbers over the years. However, with plans like the Everglades Restoration Plan and other attempts for land acquisition and preservation, the future can look brighter for this species. Thank you.